Hi, thank you for coming to my career choice presentation. We're going to start off with a little information about me. My name is Taylor Evans. I'm 25 years old. I live in the Central Valley of California, and I'm a Starbucks shift lead. I grew up in the middle class. My family had enough money for bills, but we didn't have any money after that. Because of this, I've always had to work for anything that I wanted extra. This has taught me the value of a dollar. Personality-wise, I would agree with the 16 personality test that described me as introvert, observant, and confident, while Talent Today described me as imaginative, focused, and an opportunist. Moving on to the career I chose and why. I chose third grade special education teacher. What I wanted as a career was never a question for me. I always knew I wanted to be a teacher. I decided on special education last year because I like the idea of a smaller classroom and being able to create individualized lesson plans for each student. Some things I'm looking forward to in teaching is making genuine connections, making a difference in a child's life, impacting the way the next generation thinks, creating a sense of community in my classroom, and I enjoy crafting, so I can't wait to include that as well. Some needed traits, I got this off of the article, 5 Characteristics of Teachers. The article explains that patience is necessary for diffusing frequent frustrations that come with ordinary, simple tasks, as well as students will have a different physical, emotional, and mental challenges, and this requires teachers to have a lot of patience. The job requires resourcefulness in adapting general lessons plans to meet the needs of non-traditional students, as well as teaching the same information in various ways to accommodate students. Educators in special ed programs work in close teams to help students master skills. You'll have to serve as an advocate for your students as well. Some needed skills. This is from the University of West Alabama's website. You're going to need assessment skills to determine students' strengths and weaknesses, as well as accommodate the best actions to help students, or recommend the best actions to help students. Communication skills to advocate for students' needs, advocate for the resources needed to help those students. Organization skills to create structure for students, as well as organization is the foundation of an effective learning environment. So what do I expect to be in 3, 5, and 10 years? Today, I would like to finish up my bachelor's degree with ASU and work with special needs kids to gain some experience. I need to start my credential program as well. In 3 years, I'd like to be finished with my credential program and apply to teaching positions if I haven't already. In 5 years, I would like to already been teaching for a few years and then go back for my master's degree. In 10 years, I would obviously hope I have my master's degree, and I hope that I've taught a variety of different grades right now, and I have my preference, and I hope that I'm happy with it. Some important information I need to know before starting my career. Salary, obviously we want to know how much we're going to be making. I went on the website teacher.org and I researched for kindergarten, elementary, special education teachers in Fresno, California, the area I live. Almost 72,000 is about the average, while 40,000 is the lowest, and 104,000 is the highest, and this is for yearly. Alliant.edu explains school districts produce salary schedules that calculate wages based on employees' education levels and years of employment, meaning more education and more experience equals more compensation. Some of the benefits of teaching, this came from Point Loma University. You'll have a variety of career opportunities if you decide this isn't the one for you. You can increase your earning potential. 88% of school districts in our country offer additional pay, as well as it sets you apart in a teaching job search. It shows that you're capable of teaching every student and that you already have a little bit of advanced training. Some challenges you'll have to face that came from the article Social Issues Special Education Teachers Face describes them as lack of parent involvement. Students spend about 70% of their time outside of the classroom. Therefore, teachers rely on parents to help educate their students. But unfortunately, parents are not always interested, as well as overcrowded classrooms. 17 students with 2.2 disabilities each for one teacher in the classroom. It's a lot of different age groups and various learning disabilities as well. So one question I really wanted to know was, what did you wish you knew before teaching special education? So I found a website I found an article titled 9 Things You Need to Know Before Working with Special Needs Students. And these are quotes from actual special needs teachers with their recommendation for college students like me. One claims it's all worth it. It's the most rewarding part of my time in special education was getting children into the right programs for their needs. Another describes there's no typical student. A child who is nonverbal needs an entirely different approach to education than a student with ADHD. One claimed that the paperwork is a lot. For students with special needs, it means you'll most likely spend a considerable amount of time filling out paperwork. And lastly, which I feel is the most important, is you'll wear multiple hats. A special education teacher is more than a classroom teacher. He or she is a community advocate. I feel like that is extremely important to know before you go in, that your job does not end in the classroom. You're an advocate for these students inside and outside of the classroom. And lastly, my final thoughts. After research, I've come to the conclusion teaching students with special needs will most likely be a lot more difficult than I imagined. I didn't think about the amount of time to do paperwork compared to a normal classroom, and I didn't think about the idea of parents not being involved. The end, I still want to pursue special education, but I will need to make sure I gain experience by working with special need kids now to see if this is the right fit for me. Although it would be a lot harder, it will be a lot more rewarding in the end. I think extra training and experience I wish to gain will be very useful for me. And in the end, if I end up not liking it, I can always pursue a different career as I explained on slide 12. I think students deserve to have a teacher who wants to help them and make a difference in their lives, and I believe that teacher will be me. Thank you again for listening and watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Any questions, feel free to email me. And these are all my references in case you guys saw anything you liked or want to look a little bit more into. So thank you again.